Hey everyone, this is Lauren from Coffee Cake Quilt Company. I thought it'd be nice today to switch things up and talk a little bit about our vegetable garden that we have here. So last year my husband and I planted some trees here. These are all fruit trees. These are cherries here. We have a peach. We have a pear behind there and then another cherry. So 3 cherries in total. And then over here I decided to do something a little bit different. It's not really working out for me because we got new soil this year and I believe that it was either too hot or it was contaminated with herbicide. But we do have our squash plants here that are not looking too good. They've not produced anything. I've got some sage here, pineapple sage, which I love. Usually that's really tall, which leads me to believe there's something wrong with this soil. And then another squash plant there that obviously died. We did have a whole bunch of bare root strawberries here. Nothing happened with those. I did get some fall gold raspberries here from Baker Creek. This one's kind of coming back a little bit, but as you can see, the berries just did not do very well with this new soil. And then here I have a little butternut, which is actually doing okay, but it has some kind of mosaic virus or something going on there. And then I do have a lot of watermelon that actually did survive in this new soil. So lots of these little guys coming up, all different varieties here. This one is a crimson sweet. I do have another Mexican sage here. This one gets purple and is absolutely beautiful. Let's see, this one is a yellow doll watermelon. It's doing great. I have a couple back here. This is my first year with this much success with our watermelon. And I don't know if it's maybe this little kind of structure that my husband built to protect them from the deer. And then here we have, we had white currant, or actually this was red currant, I'm sorry. We had one and then we had a second one of those, but like I said, there's just something wrong with this soil and they didn't survive. Okay, so cherry tree, our pear tree, our beautiful peach is doing great. And then we have this cherry tree, which actually did produce a handful of cherries this year, and this one as well, which also produced a handful of cherries. Okay, we'll go ahead and start over here. This is mint. I used to have an entire, what was it? Was an 8 by 4 foot bed of mint, and we decided to move it over here just because we wanted to utilize our bed space a little bit better. This is mojito mint. It's my favorite. However, it's not doing too well. I think it's pretty root bound at this point. We moved it probably about 3 years ago, but the bees love it. Okay, here we have borage. This was all self-seeded from last year. Usually this container is perfect for potatoes. I usually have such good results with potatoes here. The soil is just really good. It's from all of our compost over the years, so it's nice drainage and everything for potatoes, for root vegetables. And I just kind of let the borage go because, as you can see, these little honeybees just absolutely love it. So I think it's good for the pollinators. And then my husband built me an equal one over here. Now this one usually has saffron crocus bulbs in it, but this year, I don't know, I'm just kind of testing this out. The saffron might die, I'm really not sure, but I have sweet potato vine in here and I have it protected because the deer will just not leave this alone. And then here I have black-eyed Susan vine. This is my first year growing it. I actually wanted to grow, butterfly peas. Butterfly peas here because I thought the kids would really enjoy butterfly peas. For their quality. They turn acidic drinks, I think it's from yellow to pink or something like that, or pink to blue. I don't know. There's some kind of chemical reaction there that takes place, and I should know that because I'm a chemist. It's really sad, actually. So let's go ahead and go inside. This is kind of the structure here of our garden. We do have 2 cattle panels here as arch trellises, and then we have cattle panels the whole way around because we have a lot of deer pressure. And then we have just a couple curved cattle panels here, with the intent of replacing them with a gate. And over here we just have some wildflower seeds that I planted probably about 3 years ago now, and it hasn't always looked like this. I'm actually really grateful. A lot of these wildflower seeds needed to cold stratify first, so the first year they actually didn't grow, but now they're like thriving. And then I do have peonies back in there, but obviously they're done for the year. All right, so here we come into the tunnel and we have black-eyed Susans. I did plant these in honor of my mother-in-law. Her name is Susan. So that's just a little bit of a nod to her. We've had this garden for 6 years now, since 2018. Here we have some self-seeded cucamelons. which are growing very nicely. Just go to the right. Okay. We have some chamomile down here. This is one variety. I'm not really sure which variety this one is. I planted it 6 years ago, and even though I've pulled it, it keeps coming back. But I do have to say, this is one plant that my ladybugs absolutely love, and it's one of the first plants that pops up in the spring. So it's really good because we have a lot of aphid pressure first thing in the spring. So I'm grateful for the chamomile, even though I tried to get rid of some of it because it just took up this entire bed, and this is a 12-foot by 4-foot bed. Anyway, and then we also have all of these tomatoes here, which are volunteer. That typically happens to our garden every year. Volunteer tomatoes everywhere. So let me get down here. I don't think there's any that are ready. We had extreme heat here for a couple weeks, and a lot of the blossoms dropped. Back here we do have a volunteer tomatillo. And I wasn't sure if I was going to let this go this year. We let one go last year, and because we didn't have a second one, we didn't produce any fruit, because you actually need two tomatillos to produce fruit. But I did find another tomatillo right here. So I think we're going to be okay. I'm going to let them grow. We'll see how they do. But anyway, here is all of our peppers. These are all of our sweet peppers here. I did come through here and pick the other day. I do have some footage of that. I'll go ahead and show you. But these are orange blaze, supposedly, although it doesn't really look like that, does it? These are definitely not orange blaze, but that's what you get for sometimes getting seeds or starts at the Amish market. They're not always labeled correctly, I've noticed. All right, we've got some of those. Let's see, what is this one? Oops, I just destroyed that plant. Oh, geez. All right, some kind of bell pepper. All right, and then all of our hot peppers are over here. This is what I enjoy the most. Let's see, we have some banana peppers in here. I know it's hard to see. It's like a forest. So peppers like to hold hands, so they like to be super close. I do have some Thai hot peppers there. They're starting to turn red, and there's actually some that are kind of like a chocolate brown. A lot of these here are Marconi. We've already picked a lot of our Marconi. Oh, you can actually, yeah, you can see these. So here's some Marconi here. Sorry, there's some back in there. And then all of our jalapenos are here. I've always wanted to try to make cowboy candy, so I made sure to plant 4 jalapenos this year. And then we do have some beautiful habaneros here. Habaneros are about the hottest that I can eat. So I wanted to plant those for myself. And let's see, over here we have eggplant, a volunteer tomato here. But yeah, so we have eggplant here. This is fairy tale. It's doing okay, but there's a lot of pest pressure here from flea beetles. So typically what I like to do is I like to come out here first thing in the morning, and I'll go ahead. I'm not going to do it now because I don't want to get dirty, but I come out here and I just crush them between my 2 fingers. They're really easy to control that way. I just haven't had time to do that. And then over here, this is all volunteer tomatoes. This happened to us last year as well. You actually couldn't walk in our pathways because of the volunteer tomatoes, but I do feel like I have it a little bit under control this year. Here is a David Austin rose that I have yet to plant. This is Princess Alexandra of Kent. So excited for that. Here we have a green stalk. Okay, and this green stalk, I like to plant flowers for, well, these flowers here, these are bachelor's buttons, and I like to plant these for my soap making. I actually dry these and put these on top of soap, but I also really wanted to make some arrangements. Once again, that didn't really happen this year with that major heat wave we had, but that was my intention. So I've got some zinnias, I've got some calendula, and yeah, the bachelor's buttons on this green stalk here, some volunteer tomatoes. Over here we have some kind of volunteer squash. I'm really not sure what this is. I believe it's a squash. If not, can you please let me know down below what you think this might be? I'm not really sure. Maybe I need to pick it out. Volunteer tomatoes there. Let's see, back here I have some green beans, which actually experienced some deer pressure. We accidentally left that gate open one night and they just come in and demolish everything. Another volunteer tomato. Here's some okra. I did plant 3 okra. Only one of them is really doing very well. This one here is a crimson spineless. And there's a second crimson spineless behind it, but that's not doing very well because it's, I think, being blocked by this big one. And then this burgundy okra here, same thing, kind of being blocked by this big crimson spineless, isn't really growing in height. Okay. We have this big tomato trellis that my husband just made for us this year. We've got the greenhouse wires, or whatever you want to call them, on there as well. So I have all of the romas here on the bottom. Here's one, I can actually go ahead and pick that. So the romas are over here. I've got all the slicers here, and then I have all the cherries down at the end. And then as these grow here, we'll just come through. You can see there's these little clips. We'll just come through and we'll go ahead and clip this up. Okay, and we should really be trimming a little bit more of the bottom. You can see that I did trim some of it, but we should really be trimming more of the bottom so that we, you know, don't get some of this disease here that's happening on these leaves. All right, let's see, we have a yellow one, I can pick that. Whenever they blush, you can actually go ahead and pick them, and that's what I'm gonna do because we actually have a groundhog as well, so we've got pressure from the groundhog. Here's all of our cherry tomatoes. Same thing, I'm gonna pick this one, it's blushing. We've got lots of nice red ones down here. I'll go ahead and pick some of those.
What's this? Can I do this? What do you do with it?
Okay.
Smell it.
Here we have a whole bunch of lettuce that I decided to just let go to seed. It kind of got too late, you know, with the heat that we experienced and everything up here in Pennsylvania, to really eat it, and then it started getting kind of bitter and tough. But I'm just kind of experimenting and letting it go to seed, and let's see what happens for the fall. Maybe I won't have to plant anything for the fall. Here we have garlic chives. I think they're garlic, or maybe they're onion. I don't know. We have purple and we have white. But anyway, we have these chives. They've probably been here for 6 years as well. They do really well. We like to share with neighbors and friends. Same thing, lettuce here going to seed. We have some, probably, let's see, what is that? That one might be Persian basil. Then we have all of our kale here, which at this point has been pretty ravished by, ooh, I don't even know what that is. I've actually never seen that before. Ew. Does anybody know what that is? What is that? Oh my gosh, you guys. Ew. Well, I was gonna say white flies, and you can actually see the you can see the white flies there. Whenever I go to water it, the white flies just go everywhere. But we had a lot of cabbage moth damage as well. You can see these leaves are chewed up. So yeah, kale every year. It does really well in the beginning of the spring, and then of course as the summer months carry on, we get some pest pressure. There's some things planted back here, but I haven't really gotten to any of it. I believe there's some chard here. Yeah, there's chard right there next to the kale. And then I did plant spinach right there, but it didn't actually pop up, which is okay. These are all of our beets, and I have to be honest, I'm really surprised that we have any beets right now. We usually get really, really, really bad pressure from leaf miners, really bad pressure. Same with our spinach, pressure from leaf miners. Anyway, these are golden beets here. Let's see, did I plant anything else? Yeah, some cylindra beets here. And then here's a dinosaur kale. This is my first year actually successfully starting a dinosaur kale from seed. There's a couple more back here behind this. This is actually a Cosmo, and this self-seeded itself from last year, and it's doing awesome. I actually had Cosmos in this tower last year, which is why it's over there. But this year I planted more zinnias, and I didn't realize it, but I never finished planting, so I only planted the first tier. I never got around to planting the other tiers, so that's something I wanted to do. I think there's still some time, but look how beautiful that is. So pretty. Same with this one. This one's so pretty. Goodness. Let's see, do I have a name in this one? Illumination Zinnia. Let's see if this one has a name. And this one is a Purple Prince Zinnia. And then Canary Zinnia is up there. And then over here, we actually have some more volunteers. So these tomatoes somehow got themselves in here. This one is it's my favorite tomato, and I can't think of the name right now. Oh my goodness. Sugar. Oh my goodness. Sugar. Okay, well, I'm gonna remember the name for this. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the video, but this is my very favorite tomato, and I'm kind of guessing that I came by with some tomatoes and maybe put some seeds in there last year just to make sure. You know, you never want to get to the greenhouse and they're out of your favorite tomato, so just as like a little fail safe there in case they were out. I don't know why I can't think of those right now. That's gonna drive me crazy. Sun sugar tomatoes, I don't know, they're my favorite. They're absolutely amazing. Okay, over here is actually the herb garden, and next year I have some plans for this. I actually want to put all of these herbs on the other side of that cattle panel, just because herbs don't really see a lot of pressure from pests or deer. So I want to go ahead and put that over there because this is like really precious bed space to us. So anyway, I have this lovage here, which is always amazing every year, although it puts out a lot of volunteers, which I don't necessarily love. But anyway, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to collect these seeds, and we have a library that has a little seed exchange. So I'm going to go ahead and take these seeds and put them over at the library. We do have lemon balm back here, which just reseeds like crazy as well. I tried to cut a lot of that down, the flowers at least, so that they wouldn't reseed this year, because I'm kind of sick of pulling them out. But I don't use lemon balm anyway, so I don't really know why I have it, I guess, other than like pollination maybe. I do love coneflower, so I have several coneflowers here. I think this one's like Navajo Sunset or something. It's really, really pretty. It's kind of dying off here, but it was a really pretty reddish orange color. And then back here we've got oregano. It kind of goes the whole way back here behind this fennel. I think this is bronze fennel. And then back there is the thyme as well. It kind of just drips over the side of the garden bed. And then there's some marjoram there that looks like another lemon balm that popped up. There is German chamomile here. I actually did plant this German chamomile one, and I have to tell you, the flowers on the German chamomile versus what we have on the other side here are just so much more beautiful. They're like more open, flat face. They're so pretty. Here we have what I call my basil forest, and that's because I usually interplant basil with my tomatoes, and then the tomatoes overtake my basil, and I never get basil ever. So I went ahead and planted this basil forest this year. We've got Persian basil because my husband is Persian, so I like to grow that every year. Cardinal basil, which is my absolute favorite because it gets these beautiful deep crimson-y purple, kind of like, you know, beautiful flowers there. This is sweet basil here that I actually planted from Trader Joe's, believe it or not. It did really well. Let's see, I have lemon basil here, and then I have holy basil here. And I planted holy basil because Jess from Roots and Refuge, I don't know, she rants and raves about it, and I don't think I've ever planted it before. So I went ahead and planted that. Oh, and then I also have, I feel like it's called Aristotle basil. It just has these really fine little leaves, so pretty. But anyway, I was so excited about this basil, and then I went to go use it, and because of that extreme heat that we've been having, the leaves are really, really tough. They're not so enjoyable. I did get like 2 caprese salads out of it, but other than that, they're just not really enjoyable. So now they've gone to seed, and we have a bumblebee back there, but we have bees that are now enjoying them. So yeah, I'm kind of hoping that the cucamelons take up over here, and then of course the black-eyed Susans take up over there, and that will kind of complete the garden. I'll go ahead and put more zinnias in here, and let's see if we can get a bouquet by the end of the summer. I'm not really sure. Last year I got this off of Buy Nothing, so I paid absolutely nothing for this. A neighbor was getting rid of it, and I'm just so grateful. I was pregnant last year when I got it, and I got to come out here and sit in the mornings with a cup of coffee and just kind of enjoy my beautiful garden. And I do have to come on the outside here to show you, we do have some cucumbers growing here. They've met a lot of deer pressure though, so I really don't know. This is cucamelon as well, but there is one cucumber there, and then I have some cucumbers that I did start from seed back in here, but they're just meeting a lot of pest pressure. This is another one, but you can see all the leaves are gone. So we'll see if we get any of those this year. I did go ahead and plant a second round of squash in this soil. Now this is mushroom compost and veggie soil that we got several years ago from the same company, and it was good. And then of course we put our chicken manure on top of that every year. It's due for another dressing as well, but I'm really hoping that we'll get a second round of squash that will actually fruit for us. And then I did also plant a pumpkin here because we're getting close to fall. So we'll see how those do. If you guys are interested, let me know below. I will go ahead and do an updated garden tour at the end of August if you're interested. If not, that's fine too. This is really for my enjoyment anyway. I really enjoy seeing my garden year after year. Here are our chickens. We have 6 altogether. Only half of them actually have names, so that's because the kids actually named them. So this one right here is Chicoletta. And Big Mama right here, she is our, in the pecking order, she's at the very top, so we call her Big Mama. She is a Marin? Or no, she's a an olive egger actually, but she definitely looks more like a Marin because she's got that black with the green kind of iridescence on her. Let's see, I don't have a name for her, but she's my sweetest, my barred rock. I love her so much. We have a cream leg bar over here, Creamy, we call her. This olive egger doesn't have a name. She was just kind of an extra. Yeah, and then Spaz is inside. I'll show you her. She's actually brooding right now, so she's a little crazy. Alright, I've got my rose gloves on because Spaz is broody and she is very, very mean right now. So let's go ahead and see. She keeps stealing all the eggs and putting them underneath. And then we have one here. This one's from Chicoletta. She definitely has something wrong with her oviduct. Because her eggs are actually really fragile, so even if I just like gently tried to crack this, it would just explode everywhere. So I'm not sure what's wrong with her, and these were supposed to be really dark because she's actually a blue splash Marin. So I'll put that up here, and then it looks like my barred rock actually gave us an egg here too. Ooh, maybe 2 eggs. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes they can lay 2 in a day. So there's 3 eggs. And then we'll have to get underneath Spaz, and she's so mean. Oh my goodness, you guys. Just hold on. I might have to put the camera down. Yeah, she doesn't like it. Okay, she's got 3 eggs under there. Alright, hold on. Okay, I got the 3 eggs. Looks like I got a blue from, well, definitely not Spaz because she's brooding, so she's not producing. So our cream leg bar, and then 2 olive eggs from our 2 olive eggers. So we got 6 eggs here. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments down below if you like to garden and what your favorite vegetables are to plant, or if you like to plant flowers, what your favorite flowers are. I do have a flower garden, but I'm not as well versed with the plants in it, other than they look pretty. So thank you so much for joining me today. See you next time. Bye.